Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 Italy Pro recap. I just finished up watching it. Phenomenal coverage from EP09, Mr. Kenson Jardine, and of course, Xavier Wills with Desktop Bodybuilding, both phenomenal live coverages. So I wanted to hop on and just do a quick recap for those of you that wanted to continue the conversation talking about the 2025 Italy Pro. Now this is our first live stream on this new computer. So if the audio is funky or if anything is funky, please do let me know. Housekeeping items, I did learn how to rename the live streams. So hopefully you guys are able to see the live stream say the 2025 Italy Pro live recap. So if you see that, please let me know in the comment sections below. But also, what were your guys' thoughts on the Italy Pro? I thought it was a really good showing. I'm going to pull up the routine. Let's see. Let's look at the first call out finals. And let's take a look here. Thought it was a really good show. Honestly, I was very impressed with the conditioning we saw from everyone. Pull up the media player and let me know if you guys cannot see this. I got to make sure I'm pulling up the chat in the sidebar. If anyone can see the footage, please let me know. Pull it up on my phone real quick. So I got 3 viewers that are not talking back. How could you guys? You're my lifeblood. Let's take a look. Am I live? I'm live, right? I am. 2025 Italy Pro live. Okay, so we are live. Got a couple viewers here. And you can still see my face with the screen share. Very, very good. So let's go ahead and run through it. Let's run through it. Even for the post-production, it's still going to be entertaining. If we jump, I don't want to show the actual footage. It's kind of dirty. But if we were to get to where, so this was the initial 6 through 10 at finals. Theo Laguerriere, we had Emir Amaridzic, we had Roberto, I forgot his last name, in the blue trunks, and Tim Budishine, bigger guy on the right. All these guys looked really good. It's just they just weren't as good as the next call out. Front lat spread here, Amir, phenomenal. Great conditioning. I think the legs can continue to grow, whereas Theo's, maybe it's the stance, I don't know. But Theo, his legs look bigger, even though maybe they aren't. But the illusion is that they look bigger. It's hard to look at Tim without seeing his midsection. Can I mute this? Yeah, it's muted. Okay. So, side chest. My eyes continue to go to Theo. I thought he looked really good here. Definitely, maybe got overlooked, but overall, I thought he looked really good. Back. The back, even the back, I think Theo looks pretty darn good. I'm not mad with how Theo turned out on this one. I think he got around 7th or 8th. Around a little bit. Yeah, I think Theo was a solid pick. Boys. Move them around a little bit. Let's wait till they get all set. Urs in the center. Move Sergio around a little bit. A little bit more moving. Lewis Breed. Here we go. Money shot. Front double. What are you guys thinking on this one? Front double looks pretty good. Urs, if you didn't know, he did win. Really impressive showing from him. Mark Hector ended up in third, and Quinton in second. Very, very good lineup from everyone. Very good showing. Even Lewis Breed all the way on the left, the bigger, thicker guy. I thought he did very well. He ended up in fifth, rounding out the first call out. Sergio maintained a solid fourth place here. And Quinton Araya, of course, in second. Yeah, I think Urs is the conversation piece here. Urs brought a great amount of conditioning, solid separation here, a lot of detail, and surprisingly, a lot of people didn't think he, including myself, I'm not perfect. A lot of people thought that he wasn't going to have the size needed to win this show, but history will tell us that he ended up having the size. Also, part of that conversation piece around Urs Kalsinski in the show was I heard that he was on the Fuad Abiad show, and he mentioned that those guys like Urs weren't he wasn't going to do the Olympia. Now, I don't know your thoughts, but if I qualified for the Mr. Olympia in the Open right after my pro debut, I'd want to capitalize on that momentum, on that hype factor, and then come into the Olympia looking for a top 15 finish. I think that is very reasonable for Urs Kalsinski to place in that placing. I don't know if he can place outside or within the top 10. I think that he might be a little undersized, but I think that he did enough in this show to win. And that's exactly what happened here. Mark Hector here, still on the front double bicep. Mark looked a little soft in the legs. I'd like to see a little bit more separation in the chest. Could probably come up a little bit more. Urs, the way that Urs's, his name is Urs, so it's plural on a plural. The way his chest pops, the way everything pops, makes him look a lot different from this lineup. Even with Sergio, it makes his lats look better and bigger. And how sharp and crisp Urs is actually highlights how good he looks and how competitive he actually was in this lineup, where you might have thought that he might have been a little smaller, a little undersized. Ellen, thank you for the audio check here. Thank you, my love. He looks good. He looks so good. But I would say he almost looks too good. And it really highlights the conversation piece around Open that these guys are getting too big and not conditioned enough. You know, a huge talking point right now is Samson. Is Samson going to come in conditioned enough? And we saw from last year that he brought enough conditioning to win. But when you start throwing in people like Urs Kalsinski into the men's open lineup, and then eventually you'll have Ramon Dino coming into the open. Eventually you'll have Keon Pearson coming into the open. Eventually, once he gets some more titles. But we're going to get into a situation where conditioning is going to start becoming the standard instead of aesthetics. or a combination of aesthetics and conditioning, and not so much on the size. The size is going to be a added bonus to these guys competing and winning and doing well at these shows. I think currently you have someone like a Hottie who has a lot of size and conditioning, but the aesthetics aren't there. You have Nick Walker, no shame to the guy at all. He has the conditioning, he has the freak factor, but the aesthetic, the proportions, the symmetry is not exactly there. Let's move the posing along a little bit so I don't bore you guys. Into the front lat spread here. I think that is going to be a really interesting point we're going to get to in men's open bodybuilding. Is there's going to be enough classic guys coming in that it's going to push the conversation that conditioning and shape should be the main factors and not mass. And I think people like Quentin, like Mark Hector, even Urs Kalsinski, very symmetrical, very shapely bodybuilders. Lewis Breed, a lot of size, but the midsection is a big deterrent. It really draws the eyes. And I think that that's going to continue to hurt him in the future. And let's grab a couple other shots here. I know they move people around. Side chest, get Sergio in there. This is a good shot. It looks like Urs's hands. Does he want his hands to be that low? It's a really interesting hand placement. Same with Quentin. The hands are really low. Mark Hector, holy cow. Look at that side chest he's got. That's a good shot. The quads, though, aren't as detailed. Quentin is doing a good job of really stepping on that quad and really showing a lot of detail, as you can see here, right? That looks really, really good. But what are your thoughts? Does he win this shot? The world may never know. Let's get into this lat spread real quick. I appreciate everyone stopping in and checking out this quick little live stream. Back double bicep here. I'm not surprised that Urs won. The detail, the conditioning, and the glutes, even the somewhat lacking of size in the back department is not overshadowed by the lack of conditioning from the other gentlemen on the stage right now. Quentin looks, although his glutes look sharp, he looks very soft in the back, the lower back, even the upper back. Mark Hector looks fairly conditioned, but could use a little bit more shape. Somehow Urs came from Classic, and everyone said he was going to be undersized, and ends up showing up and showing off to these guys, really showing that he is not undersized. Now, here's the question. Kind of a quick stream. Maybe we get to 15 minutes. I don't know. Maybe 20 minutes. Here's a big question. Can Urs place in the top 10 at the Olympia with the back the way it is? Now, if he brought some Mike Menser level conditioning and it just was insanely shredded, and he was able to retain a lot of the muscle, maybe he could squeeze into that top 10 just off of that freak factor that we're not seeing. That is the question. But I'll continue to say it. I don't think he looks small. Mark Hector's arms look twice the size of Urs. That's insane. Do you see his arms over here? Second from the right. That's a lot of muscle he's got right there. That's a really good shot for him. And the beard is definitely complimentary. I really dig it. This was a really good show. This is a really good lineup. And it actually made the show exciting because you didn't exactly know who was going to win. Of course, you had the favorites. You had Quinton coming in and was most likely going to win. But you still had someone like Urs who was going to be in the conversation. He wasn't immediately ruled out just because he was too small. And, you know, I know on Xavier's live stream, there was thousands of people saying that he was going to win regardless. And I initially thought that was more of a fanboy thing. But after seeing the results, I'm not mad about it. I think he looks really, really good. And I think he could do really well at the Olympia. Not gonna put out crazy predictions, but he could place here. Any other shots? Most muscular, maybe? Somehow this skip is like getting perfectly timed. Look at Sergio's face. Hell yeah, brother. Really good show. Mark Hector, I think, was probably the standout outside of Urs Kalsinski. Sergio, I feel like, looks like how Sergio always looks. Louis Breed is always going to be freaky. And Quinton, I think, has yet to perfect the conditioning. I think he still needs to get sharper. But let me know your thoughts down below. For everyone who stopped in and watched this video, thank you for watching. Just a quick little recap of the finals. Congratulations to Urs Kalsinski on winning the 2025 Italy Pro. The Italy Pro Muscle, the IFBB Pro League, Pro Muscle, Italy. Congratulations to all those guys, sponsored by Yamamoto and Barbara Bagulo Productions. I think they did a really good job here. One final note, I'll just real quick. The stage quality, the lighting, the backdrop, the cinematography, maybe if you will, the stage production, I thought was very good at the 2025 Italy Pro. The Pro Muscle was good. The lighting was solid. It was complementary to the live stream. The backdrop, although it was a smart screen, it was a what do you call OCD LCD screen. Usually the pixelations detract from the physique and it makes it look not as good. But I will say that the backdrop was mute enough. The palette was not as obstructive to the physiques to where you actually got to see the physique in all of its glory. Lopsang, I agree. Urs looked phenomenal. Definitely rewatch the live stream. I do show the finals footage in frame by frame, so you actually see a really good quality footage of Urs as he's coming into winning that show. But I do want to highlight for Barbara, for her team, for the Pro Muscle team, they did a really good job. The live stream was hiccupy at first, and it was very difficult to get on board, but the live stream production was phenomenal. The quality was good. Takeaways, feedback, the shot. You can't zoom in on 4 people when you have 6 people on stage. And you should never, and this is for the promoters, this is for the head judge, this is for the crew lead, for the production team, you should never have 8 people on stage for any kind of call out. You were consistently seeing about 5 to 6 people on stage, with the outer 2 not even being present for the audience, for the viewers at home, the thousands, tens of thousands of people watching at home. We weren't able to see them. So huge feedback to that team. And I'll even send them an email and just kind of like summarize my feedback and be like, hey, love the production, but here's some notes that me and my audience have. And hopefully they do something with that. We've seen shows like the Detroit Pro make improvements, have the backdrops black, or at least darker. And even the Olympia, they've been able to like portion off that small little section where it was darker, where it wasn't so obstructive. So we're seeing improvements coming slowly over the years. I like to see it, and I'm hoping that it continues to make those improvements. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another episode here on the Bodybuilding News Network for a quick recap of the 2025 Pro Muscle Italy Olympia qualifier, where Kalsinski ended up winning. So big congratulations to him. Thanks for everyone who stopped in and watched this quick little live stream. And we'll see you, as always, on Wednesdays, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our live hour special with Jason Lowe for Bodybuilding and Friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.